Hi everyone, welcome back. It's been a while since some of you asked to see these sneakers on this channel and I finally managed to have them here. In this episode you're gonna have the chance to see them in comparison with two other sneakers and I hope this is useful for you, this info. Also at the end of this episode we're gonna see an update about the New Balance More V4 that I have. As you can tell, we're gonna start with the external box because I want to show that everything was okay, came in correct conditions. In the shot we can see the box from the sneakers. You can pause the video if you need to get some info, and also we can see some of my sizes in other sneakers. In my case this model was true to size. I didn't find anything else in the box. In the shot we can see both of them, and as always we start with the left foot because we want to check if the quality is consistent in both of them. For those that care about the cushioning, you should pay attention to this part. You can pause the video if you need. During this episode I will try to leave some ratings about different parts of the sneakers just to let you know better which I like it and which I didn't like it. As you can tell, these sneakers have a fresh foam kind of foam in them. And that one, usually I did like it in most of the sneakers that I found from New Balance. And here, to be fair, that midsole is more than enough for the price that they have. In general, I do look for this kind of fresh foam when I buy something from New Balance, to say the truth, you know. And here we have the first rating for the upper. In this case I did found it to be good enough, nothing to complain really. As you can tell, it's something like some kind of mesh. It's pretty breathable, so it's good enough. On the tongue we can see the kind of model that the sneakers are. They are Arishi version 4. I didn't try the older versions, but hopefully in the future I will try more of them. Here we have the internal midsole rating. Like you've seen, I'm pretty okay with the kind of cushioning that I get from these sneakers, but not everything is perfect. And here we have the outsole, and this is the part that I don't like it very much in these sneakers. They have exposed foam, which is very soft in this case, so the outsole I don't like it in them. It's better than in many other sneakers, but still they have this issue because they don't cover the entire space of that outsole, so that is exposed foam and it's very easy to get something to poke your footbed, you know, in the end, which is not okay. I really feel that this trend should stop already. This is a really big mistake and I don't want to see more sneakers being made this way. Maybe it's already too late to change something, but this is a huge mistake and everyone should be careful when is buying something, a new pair, you know, just check that outsole, be sure it's 100% rubber outsole if it's possible, obviously, or as close as you can get to that 100%, because in the end it's related with the safety of your feet and also the value for money that you can get from a pair of running sneakers in the end. In this case it's a bit sad because I did check the previous versions of these sneakers. In the version 2 was actually perfect, that outsole. I mean, it had 100% rubber outsole. You can see that in 2018. And I feel that these days, in order to find something with good quality, you should look in outlet stores, because the ones that are made today or the ones that are coming in the future, they will be just worse than the previous versions. They are always cutting the materials from them to cut the price and to make more money. In other words, the greediness changed this industry completely. They are not made anymore with passion, you know, for running. They are doing this because they are bringing a lot of money and they don't care anymore if it's good or not. It's important to be cheaply made and still get quite some money from that product. Since these YouTube channels started to grow and grow every time more and make reviews of these sneakers, it's enough to have few of them under your feet, you know, being paid if you like, and this way you're gonna assure yourself that you're gonna sell those sneakers without any issues, even though they aren't great made, you know. And this is sad because no one really tells what they feel about that product, you know, genuine opinion. Is everything corrupted basically? because of the money, you know. If they can make some money from a brand, they will say the things they need to say to get that money from that brand and just don't care anymore how they are coming, these products. That is why I'm trying to give some heads up to the people and try to make them avoid those channels that are playing friendly with the brands. Those channels that never complain, I don't know, maybe they are squeaky, those sneakers. I mean, those things are happening. I buy all the time sneakers and I know that sometimes some of them are squeaky, they are not well made. Well, in those big channels, you never hear something about that. You know, if they have some issues, they will just send back that pair and they will get 5 more, you know, and they will show only the ones that are well made. That for me is not genuine information. That is lies. Like a movie, for example, when everything is staged, you know. Anyway, this is the right foot. To be fair, I didn't find any issues with these sneakers, but I will still show it. That is everything fine with them. They didn't have problems with the stitching or the gluing. Maybe a little bit more glue on the outsole in few places, but nothing to worry about, you know. And at least there you cannot see it, so I don't care that much when it's a bit more than when it's a bit less. A bit less is a problem for me, a bit more, well. It's a bit sad with these sneakers because the thickness of that outsole is quite good, I will say. It's not perfect, but it's quite good. But I wish they were having 100% cover it, you know? Not like this, half of the palm being exposed. I mean, why you will do that, you know? You really don't care about your safety. Why would you do that? It doesn't make sense for me. Only that you are thinking to make more money and use less materials. Other than that, I don't see any point to have that. Don't tell me it's because you want to have them lightweight. That's, let's be fair, you know. We can see here the insoles. I'm not crazy about them because they are a bit too thin in my opinion. They have around 3 millimeters and that's not very much. We can see here the footbed is perforated in few places. Not really sure why, but this is the way they are. The white layer that covers that footbed feels soft, but under feels hard. On the back of this heel we can see they have some extra glue there for some reason. Not a big deal really. In the shot we can see the internal label of the sneakers and the sizes. Here I will show the weight on them in grams and also in ounces. In my opinion they are very lightweight and I wish they were having full rubber outsoles because with 40 grams more nobody will die, you know. Really nobody will die because of that. So there is no reason to say, oh, I don't put the entire outsole with rubber because I will gain way too much weight. That is really lies, nothing else. I didn't born yesterday, you know. In the shot we can see how those insoles are fitting to my feet. That's why I'm saying they are true to size. In my case, my feet, they are just a bit wider than these insoles, but I still get the enough space inside of that sneaker without being compromised the comfort, you know. By the way, I have regular feet in width or standard, if you want to call it that way. But they are also in wide and extra wide in United States, and I think here in Spain I've seen only in wide version. In the shot we're gonna see better the laces and also the upper of the sneakers. These laces felt strong enough, so I don't complain with anything for the price that they have. And like I said, we're gonna see here this upper and a better view of the interior of these sneakers. In the shot we can see the tongue also. I wish it was a gusseted tongue because that is very useful in general for running sneakers. Here is not the case and I wish it was perforated. Also very important when you are running with them with this heat, you know. Here in the shot we can see the footbed and also we can see the cage. This is the thickness of the cage. I will say is right on point, but I wouldn't wish to be thinner than this because that can be a problem for longevity of the shoe. As you can tell, this upper doesn't have a second layer of fabric inside. In the shot we can see the thickness of this upper is regular, I wouldn't complain, it's good enough to say the truth. About this tongue, like I said before, I wish it was a bit perforated and also a bit wider, wouldn't have been a bad idea. And if it's not too much to ask, also to be gusseted tongue. Here I'm trying to show you the thickness of this midsole and the rigidity on this midsole. In general, I do prefer to have it a bit more rigid than it is in these sneakers. We can see this upper splashed with some drops of water. It's not waterproof, as you can tell, but it takes some time till that water gets inside, you know. About that heel, I think is semi-rigid, not too much, not too soft, so it's good enough. I didn't have any issues with them on my feet. Yeah, in this shot I'm showing the size of these insoles and the outsoles, and you can compare it with other sneakers if you like. In the shot you have the chance to see how my arch and instep looks. I would say it's medium, so I do have some arch there. My first impression with them on my feet is that they have good cushioning and also good comfort. Like I said, the width for my feet is more than enough. I don't complain, it's very well the way it is, actually. The stability also was good enough in the sneakers. I didn't have any issues to keep my balance with them. In this pair, I think one of them is a squeaky one because I didn't have enough time to move around too much, but I feel that they might develop some kind of squeaky noises. At some point you can hear it when I'm moving around with them. In the shot we can see them in comparison with 411 version 3. I can see a big difference in cushioning in between these two models. The 411 is much more rigid, that midsole in them, in comparison with the Arishi ones. That Arishi is much better than the other one because it has a softer cushioning, which I like. I prefer that way, and also has a better outsole because it has more rubber on that outsole. If I should compare them with everything from Adidas that is Ultra Boost, these ones have much better cushioning and comfort also. The 411 feel a bit too tight on my feet, on my instep. The Arishi has plenty of space, so no complaints there. In the shot we have another comparison with Ultrabounce from Adidas. Again, Arishi is better in cushioning, being softer. The other one from Adidas is a bit too rigid for my liking, but is good for those that have a bit more weight. One good thing that Adidas has in this case, an advantage, is that the outsole feels more rugged in that Adidas. So I think that one is a better lasting, although it's not 100% rubber outsole, and you still have some exposed foam in that one. But this is how they are these days. A con that Adidas has is that the upper is thicker and is not as breathable as the one from New Balance in this case. Another comparison here with another Adidas model. In this case, Adidas feels taller because it has more stack, but still they are more rigid with that midsole, and I do prefer the midsole from the New Balance. The outsoles are pretty much similar, but I believe I prefer the one from the Adidas, although felt a bit slippery for me, at least as new as they are right now. The comfort is great in both of them, nothing to complain. About the stability, I think it's a bit better the one from New Balance, for some reason. For me, it felt that way. And finally, the last comparison with More V4. To be fair, if Arishi had full rubber outsole, I think that one would have been my winner in this comparison. And I'm not saying that the cushioning is equal with the one from More V4, because it's not. That one is much better. But overall, they are good enough to be okay with that cushioning that Arishi has. What I don't like in More V4 is that they don't have full rubber outsoles, obviously, because there is like 50% of that, and it's a bit too much movement under your outsole, and they feel chunky when you are running with them. Other thing that I didn't like it with More before is that one time I did got my footbed pocket with a stick in a park. That already happened to me, and here they have like 21 days. It happened after I filmed this episode. I still have that hole in the outsole, so I will show it in the future videos. And these things, they are happening, you know. That's why I want to have full rubber outsole. I didn't got injured in that situation because it was thick midsole, but it might happen in the future, and I don't want that. It's not fair for the people to get this kind of outsoles. That's why we have to say these things and complain about them to bring a change, you know. I don't want to buy in the future this kind of sneakers that I cannot trust to run with them because I feel I am in danger all the time while I'm running with them. In this shot I'm trying to show you how is the wear after some regular non-intensive use of these sneakers during 3 weeks basically. I will try to remember to bring updates about these sneakers over the next videos in the future. Now back to Arishi. Do I recommend them or not? Well, we don't have too many choices these days because the most of them, they have even worse outsoles. So because I have plantar fasciitis, I did need a pair of sneakers with good cushioning. So that's why I buy it this more before. Okay, I think I will end here this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe because it's very important for me. Have a nice day and please take care of you.